Hi everyone, I'm Chantel, the Happy Homeschooling Housewife. This video is all about co-ops, what to think about when you are looking for a co-op. So if you are in the market of the co-op, if co-ops are something that you're considering, then you won't want to miss this video because I'm going to tell you some things you need to think about when searching for a co-op for you and your family. So stick around. Okay, co-op. So you're in the market for a co-op. You might be new to homeschooling, or you might have been homeschooling for a long time and are looking to add a cooperative to your life. Before I get into what I think you should think about, I want to just define what a co-op is for those folks who may not know. So cooperatives are families that come together and organize themselves, usually around an educational philosophy or set of values, and they pull together to create an environment of learning that is shared amongst the group. So it's actually the parents who are the designers and also the doers of the learning experience. Co-ops look different. So every co-op is different, and even if it's the same type of co-op like Classical Conversations, even that type of co-op might be different. So it's really important that you know what to look for when you are searching for a co-op to see if it is a right fit for you and your family. Now, those of you all that don't know me, maybe you're visiting this channel for the first time, I'm a homeschooling mom to 3 girls, ages 12, 9, and 7 years old, and I've been homeschooling since the very beginning. And during my homeschooling life, I actually was part of a co-op, but we didn't call it that. We were just my sister and her best friend. We have joined together over the years, and we supported one another in our educational journey with our kids. But very much, we didn't name it a co-op, but we do work cooperatively together. In addition to that, I have also been a part of about 3 different co-ops through the years. So I have a lot of experience with co-ops and how to look for them and how to kind of rate to see if this is a good fit for you and your family. So without further ado, we're going to jump into my little wisdoms tips about co-ops. So the first thing I want to say when thinking about co-ops, create your true north. This is a very, very important step. I think it is the most important step that you will do. Take time before you go out looking and observing to write down what it is that you're looking for in a co-op. So I actually have a freebie that I created. You can go to the comment section down below and click on the link. And it's just a little form template that I've used to help me know what I'm looking for. So as I'm shopping for co-ops, I have this to compare it to. And what it wants you to think about is the philosophy. So all co-ops are all based on a philosophy of learning or a philosophy of values. Some co-ops are religious based, some are not, some are all about nature, some are culturally based. So you want to make sure you think about what kind of philosophies are important to you. What do you want your co-op to kind of center around and be grounded around? So that's what I mean by philosophies. The second thing you want to consider is time. How much time can you afford to spend, or do you want to spend with the co-op? Is it 1 day? Is it 2 days a week? How many hours a day do you want to spend? Location is also important. What geographic location are you willing to go to? Oftentimes, the life of homeschoolers, we're often in our cars traveling from this place to that place. So location is something that's very important. So you want to, in that section, identify the locations that you know will work for you and your family. Another thing to consider is finances. Most co-ops have a fee attached to them, so you just want to make sure that you know the budget that is healthy for you and your family to stay in as far as participating in a co-op, and any fees that it might entail. Obviously, classes. What type of learning experiences are you looking for your children? Are you wanting like enrichment-based classes, or are you looking for something that's a little bit more rigorous to add to your program that maybe you're not doing, like science labs and advanced mathematics classes. So in this part, you want to really be descriptive about what classes you're looking for your children. And if you have multiple children, I would do it like per child that you're looking for. The other one is commitment. Because co-ops are by parents and for parents, usually, that means that it takes parents to run it. So really be honest, and this can change from like year to year, but be honest with what level of commitment, what level of service you are able to give and you want to give, and what that looks like for you. And know that for yourself first before going and like signing up for a co-op. That's really important. And so the last one is what are I would consider, like, what are things that you personally as the parent are hoping to also experience from the co-op? Do you want like something that's really supportive of the parents as well? One co-op that I attended, they had a mother support group. So part of their vision and mission was to nurture the moms that were there. And so that was really, that was really nice. And they did several different things throughout the year to nurture moms, and every time we met they had a mom's room and they had wonderful food spread and dim lights, and it was just a nice atmosphere for you to be able to get away for an hour and kind of do a woosah. So that was really nice. So I would say that in addition to thinking about your kids' needs, think about like what is it that you need also, because this is a community that's for you and your children. So after you've done your True North and you've thought about all of that, remember that there is going to be a link below where you can just get that free download if you want to use it. The next thing I would say is then go and compile a list. So start researching homeschool co-ops. I would start with family and friends. If you know any homeschoolers, I would ask them. Even if they're not a part of a co-op or you're not sure, still ask them, because they may know of somebody that is, or they may have been involved in one in the past. I would caution that if they give you feedback that it didn't work for them, don't dismiss it because it didn't work for them, because you're a totally different, family. So what didn't work for one family may not necessarily be the same for you. The other place that I would look is good old-fashioned Google. Do a search for your area for homeschool co-ops. A lot of co-ops have websites or Facebook groups, so it's a great way for you to just kind of get information. And then the third place I would seek for information about co-ops are your local churches. So just call them and ask if they know of any homeschool support groups or homeschool co-ops in the area. So that's another place for you to go and get information about co-ops. After you have compiled your list and you have your list, hopefully you have some good options on there. The next step is to dwindle the list down. So you've researched, and it will be easy for you to see what's a contender, a possibility based on your True North, and what co-ops are not. And your goal here is just to dwindle down the possibilities where, okay, this co-op is falling at least between the boundaries of my True North, and that's your goal. And after you've dwindled your co-op list down, the next step that you want to do is to schedule time to actually visit the co-ops. This, you guys, is a critical step, right up there with step number 1. Visiting co-ops to observe them is so important. Do not, if at all possible, sign up for a co-op based on what you read about them or based on what they tell you over the phone. There's nothing like hands-on, experiential experience. Very important. So most co-ops let you visit. They actually have times in the year usually where you can observe, and I would definitely try to do that. I would encourage you to just go yourself if you could, without your kids if possible, because sometimes I know for my kids, they get excited. They think that, something is, we're actually going to do something, and don't understand we're just observing. So I try not to bring my kids the first time that I go. The first time that I go, I'm just trying to check it out. And then if it's something that I'm like, hey, this seems like, it's pretty good, then I'll bring my kids so I can see how they actually function in the environment and what they feel about it. And I'll do that. So you want to make sure that you can maybe try to get into observation visits, and you'll learn so much. You will be able to see how they operate, how they're organized. You'll also be able to see things like how they handle safety, which is very important. Is it a secured environment? Do they have protocols in place? You'll also be able to observe the classroom styles of learning, like what is their expectation? Does it seem like that parents are coming in and their lessons are well planned and organized, or does it just seem like they kind of throw things together at the last minute and that's kind of, good enough? So there's so many things that you'll be able to know and learn about a co-op when you observe it. And again, you're going to take your observations and you're going to compare it with your true north worksheet, like what you're really looking for, and see how it matches up. The next thing, for that co-op that's looking like this is really like a contender, I would strongly suggest that you have a conversation with the organizer. Sometimes this is mandatory. Co-ops have their own process of onboarding families. If it is not something that's mandatory, I would initiate it. And during the conversation, you want to make sure to ask any questions that maybe you didn't find answers to through your observation or through what you learned about them online. But also, it's so important that you take this opportunity to communicate important information about your family. This is hugely important. And oftentimes, because of how co-ops are, how they operate, it's not mandatory that parents share information about their family. But I think it's really important because it will help them get an understanding of what your family, how you are, and your unique needs, or what you're really looking for in the season. And it will help them be able to determine if this is a best fit for you. So I would strongly encourage sharing anything that you think is important about your family with them. And last but not least, if you've decided to, hey, we found this co-op, we're going to give it a try, I would say show up and give it an honest try. It takes a while to kind of become a part of the culture, I guess I would say, of a co-op. And every co-op has a different personality about them and culture. So give it time to kind of get acclimated to the co-op and give it an honest try too. And the thing, whatever that you're saying you're committing to, really try to commit to it and show up, because cooperatives are dependent upon everyone working together in order to arrive at that shared vision and mission for families and for children. So give it an honest try and then evaluate. If it doesn't work for you, don't stick around with it, but give it an honest try to see if it will. I would love to hear your comments in the section below. If you have a co-op that you love, give it a shout out in the comment section, show it some love. Also, if you have any other tips about how you go about finding co-ops, any other wisdom to add to this Wisdom Wednesday conversation, please leave it in the show notes below. I would love to hear what you have to say about co-ops and your experience. Also, I would love for you to follow my blog at www.happyhomeschoolinghousewife.com. It's all one word, and you can also follow me on Instagram at happyhomeschoolinghousewife.com. And that's all I got. So until next time, I hope that you stay encouraged and be blessed. Bye.